Tea for free!
Ikaw na balag edit, Ana Ish.
For today's episode, we are going to talk about does life gets better after college. So, our guest for today is a college classmate, college friend, and also our president for the DevCom Society Class 2007. I'm proud. I'm proud.
Yeah.
Proud nga 2007 tabesh. Ayaw na kalimod ang edad.
Paulak, ha?
She's been an NGO worker for like almost half of her life. Oh my God, half of her life. No,
More
she
than
used to
a
work
decade.
For more than
Uy,
a
hindi
decade.
po siguro. Uy, wala pa ba ita I think not half. Sige, go.
7 20.
More than a decade. More than 10 years.
More than 10
Go.
years.
Okay,
More
go
than 10
ahead
years
na
ago. She used to work for Lutheran. Ano sige to? Cor?
Lutheran World Relief.
Lutheran World Relief, and she also works up to this from 2012 up to this moment. Sure. Sa UN. UN, sakto ba? UN. Yeah. Let's introduce, let's help me welcome Corazon Lagamayo. Yoo-hoo!
Ka-cute ninyo. Hi, guys. Good to see you here
Hello, Cor.
virtually.
Hi,
Ay,
Cor.
nakalimot
It's been
ko.
a while.
Valedictorian
know.
mo po day si Cora, di ba?
Uy, ayaw kalimot na. Besh, kaya siya
Ayaw
ba
na
higit sa
na,
to ang
uy.
class nga. Sa ni we're so
Cum
proud of
laude
her
man
nga
siguro,
natin. Cum
or
laude. Uy, cum
summa,
laude na
or
muna.
Cum laude day. Oh. Di ba?
Bayo, tayo.
Brain and beauty.
Brain and beauty bash.
Correct.
Salamat.
So is life gets better for you? Does ba sakto? Wrong grammar.
Does life
Does-
get
does-
better?
Does life gets better?
After college.
Yes. Firstly, thank you for having me here sa T43. No, it's good to know that you're having this platform, and I actually ask Ish kung unsa ang target audience kay. As DevCom, you have to know your target audience, and it's always
yeah.
intentional communication, no? And I believe this platform is aiming to be an inspirational one. So I'm so proud to be here, and congratulations, guys, for realizing this vision. No, I mean, I think first pata kamo sa atong batch to have this platform. The question is, actually, I'm excited for this the topic for today, about expectation versus reality. And if you ask me if life gets better after college, I would agree to Saip's point a while ago that it depends on the perspective. No, if you are living, as they say, a dog's life. I mean, I love dogs, but idioms, miserable and unpleasant life, then I think your answer to this question will be different. But in my case, I would say that I'm blessed to say that life after college indeed gets better. And as mentioned by Jam a while ago, that you have the freedom, you're earning, you have a living, and Ish mentioned about choices, and you are confronted with complexities, and that gives you freedom of choices. But what makes it even more interesting is that with freedom, we know freedom comes from responsibility. You get to be accountable to your decisions. But I'd like to pinpoint that when I say that it gets better, it doesn't get simpler. You know what I mean? So when you say that it gets sometimes when you say it's better because it's simple. No, it's not like that. It's actually even more complicated. But I like complications, and we love complex matters, and I think that what makes life interesting in general.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I feel like I'm in a
That's very
talk
good
show,
insight.
guys. Like, this
Correct.
is legit talk show. Oh, hindi na siya chika-chika mga besh. Yeah, but I agree.
Dapat yun ba ako na-rewind kay basig mahubog ko sa ako ang ipaingon.
Yeah. Wala, mura akong speechless, but I so agree with you, Cor, in the way nga you said nga, it doesn't mean better, it doesn't mean easy. And that's so true. And it's more of perspective this time. But I think just like wine, 'di ba magkadugay,
Magkalami.
magkalami siya. So magkalami lugar tong life ani.
I like the katong phrase na when it gets kanang bigger ba. So complicated siya, but it doesn't mean kung complicated siya, it doesn't mean na negative siya. So
Yeah. Also correct. Yeah, and I also like katong intentional communication. Let's go back to being DevCom, guys. for a second. 'Di ba kay I think not just in communication, but I think intentional living is the key because you have to set your intentions first so that you get at least the portion of your intention. Kung di mo tanan, di mong gusto sa imong life, at least a portion of it. So you actually achieve your goal because, di ba, happiness, success is achieving your goals. I mean, if you achieve some of your intentions or if you achieve some of your goals, then that makes life worthwhile also.
If I may add, Jam, there are moments wherein you like, I don't know if you find also yourselves in this particular phrase. You say that, how I wish I'm still a student. Now, sometimes you find yourself in that narrative, how I wish I'm still a student, because you don't have, you have no issues about bills. It's fine if you don't have a job. You get an allowances from your parents. I think that in itself is an explanation that this college or our life during as a students are way simpler than after college, after we finish school. So but
What's
sorry, Jam.
it's okay, go
Hulog ako
Jan.
phone, sorry. What's the most difficult part, Cor? I mean, 'di ba, when you finish college and then you transition to having work, what's the difficult part in the transition of being in the real life?
I like that question because, firstly, before I ask that, answer that. Please remind me the question because I have issues about transition these days. To answer your question, the difficult part of the transition, I think it's the process, Jamme, because transition is not a one-off thing. It's not like I'm going to graduate now and tomorrow transition after college. It's fine. No, I think it's the whole transition process and more than the change itself. You finish college, you finish your master's degree. There's a lot of factors in it. It's more than an external, it's an internal process. So the transition there involves acceptance of the change, acceptance from the other parties as well, your adaptation to your new environment. And in my case, I think that the difficult part was really configuring the mission, really configuring the purpose. Because I was not really settled, even up to now. I mean, I always, ponder what is really my purpose here in the world, no?
I
Because
thought you already figured out. I'm sorry. I thought to figure out anymore, Cor. Like,
No.
After college?
It's still a question, no? It's a $1 million question, and I always, discuss this with my sisters because I also would like them to ponder and realize and always reflect, no? And it's because when you are not settled, if you don't know your purpose, you will be, if not lost, but you will be jumping from one job to the other and from one venture to the other. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, it's just that we are, time is very limited and we don't want to waste that. That's why I always encourage my sisters, for instance, to ask themselves, what do you want? That is the very key question, eh? What do you want? But to answer that question is also very difficult. So I think that is the difficult part, Jam, to really, assess. We called it self-assessment, right? To know what you really want, and because if you figure it out, everything will be easy. But it's beyond logic sometimes. It's beyond logic.
Yeah,
it's
right?
beyond reason. So I'm a spiritual person. I'm a Christian. So I would always lean towards praying wisdom. I love wisdom. I self introspection. Always do that. And I actually I have a long overdue na siya na project. I want to establish my own personal blog called Intuit
Nice.
Blog, because since I think 2015
I want to
have it here.
join. Sign me up.
Since 2015, I've been shutting down all the life's realizations, and it's every year, every day, random thoughts. I always write that, and I already have this compilation, but it's just me being lazy trying to put that out there. But just to share that, every day is a learning process for you to get that transition that you asked, Jam. Yeah.
That's
grabe
pretty
ka,
profound. I just thought nga.
Pero Cor, I have a question.
Okay, go Sai.
Yeah.
Sige, Zai.
When we were in college,
Sai.
Cor, yeah. When we were in college, do you already know like what you want after college? Because ako when I was in college, siguro when I enrolled in DevCom, all I wanted was to have a course na more on communication
A degree.
with lesser numbers. Kanang gamay ra ang math. Because when I checked the syllabus ba na, oh my God, naray ko we only have math 1, trigo, and algebra. And by duha lang gali ang atong math, take 2 pa ko and take 3. So muna siya. So do you already know your what you want?
Math 1 and Math 01, dismayo. Okay.
I
So
hate
yes,
math.
okay. You asked me if I already know what I want. I know what I want. I know what
Sana
I
all.
want the profession that I'd like to be after college, and that is to be a broadcaster. That's why I envy Jam so much right now, because you know the being
Wow.
a talk show host. I think that is closer to my dream. I think I've mentioned it to you, Mads, before. That is really my dream.
No, I think I shared that even
I
before
want to do
course.
something. Yeah, you can. Yeah, do hosting.
Yes, that is really my dream, to be a broadcaster in one of the biggest broadcasting companies in the country.
So-
That is really
okay.
clear to
Okay,
my
and
mind's eye.
then?
Yeah, to land a white collar job, and I actually even promised myself not to land in a non-profit organization. Why is that? Because
my
as a
God.
farm girl, growing in the farm in the rural areas, for like since birth, I said to myself,
in Kalilangan.
yes, in Kalilangan, Bukidnon, I said to myself, I'll not go back to the mountain, to the province. I like to land a white collar job in an air conditioned room. And yeah, that was the plan, but it turned out that
Wow.
yeah,
Life has other
So what was the
plan for
turning
you.
point, Cor?
That's a revelation for us, no?
Yeah,
Oo.
I don't know. I forgot if we ever mentioned before, pero nakalimot na siguro gid ko.
No, but I do remember Cor mentioned
Ay.
naganan siya mag-broadcaster at
Yeah, it's so weird, Cor. Let me just
Before.
share, because you mentioned that all you wanted was to have to be a broadcaster and everything. Getting into me, let me just share. I just wanted to write. I just wanted to have a job nga I'm able to write and I'm able to like just express myself. That's it. That's all I ever even thought of. I did not even think. I did not really like dream of this. But I think life has other plans for you instead, and
interesting.
I think the purpose of life is for you to really uncover, and maybe God has bigger plans. Maybe it's not your plan,
I think
but
that's what's
it's the plan of
interesting.
the universe. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. And that's what's interesting. That's the reason why we are having this topic on what changed in our journey as to why we're not able to really achieve the ambition that we had when we were in college, right? So for Cora, she mentioned she wanted to be a broadcaster. She wanted to be in a room na fully air conditioned, and it's a white collar job. So I'm really curious, Cora, like what happened? What's the turning point? No, what was the turning point in your career?
Yeah, I'm sorry na
Oh,
katawan
yes.
ako, but yeah. But that's a good question. Yeah.
No, Yeah, because she mentioned earlier na she doesn't want to be
Yeah.
in like a non-profit organization. But right now, I know Cora built a career in an NGO, right? So I'm interested to know what was the turning point, what made her decide to join an NGO.
I think it boils down to happiness. No, so I did not find my heart in the private world, to be honest. So that plan was partly materialized. Partly, my first job was in a call center organization
Oh, yes.
agency in Cebu,
Yes,
in
I
Western
remember.
Watts.
Really?
Yes.
That?
Western
Yes,
Watt
yes,
in
yes.
Lapu-Lapu. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
Call
that's
center
my
ni
first
Cora.
job, Sai, for like 2 months. 2 months,
Wow,
and then but
congrats, you made 2 months.
that was I know I'm dragging my feet to the office every day,
You're
every
not
day,
meant to be para
and
sa
Yeah.
that
call
was the
center.
time when I started. I learned how to lie, white lies, because I don't want to go home. I want to go report. I always, skip office just to, send my resume out there to Lahog. I was in Lahog, sending my resume, manual jud. And so I wasn't
Oo, sa
happy.
una.
Every day I'm always contemplating, Lord, where do you want me to go? Where are you leading me? And please just guide me, After that, I went back to Cagayan and landed a job in Toyota as an after sales customer service.
Oh my God, I remember.
I know that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes,
think
Toyota
so.
Besh. Like, I am the one releasing the new cars and explaining to them
Wow.
this dollar thing, for as their freebies. So if you are coming here every now and then, you will have this freebie. So that is my work every day. Every day. But, I mean, it's only for 5 days. Because yes, for 5 days, I said, your kalas, this is
Grabe
enough.
ka.
After 5 days, that was Friday, I
From
said,
2 months to 5 days.
oh,
Tayo.
2 to
Wow.
5 days.
Ang next
Because
one
the
day na
very
lang gid
reason,
bash.
I think it has something to do with our training. And I go back to how we were trained in Xavier, that every Saturday, they have an office kasi. So, I'm always exhausted and I feel like I'm so disconnected with the world. You just open the television on Sunday, wala na kayo yung news. So you feel like, no, I did not train. I did not go to college just to be like this. So, and then I was offered a volunteer position in Lutheran World Relief, and I grabbed the chance. And that, the rest is history. That started my journey in nonprofit. So it boils down to really assessing what, what makes you happy, and the impact that you are making, the impact that you want to make. I'm not saying that when we say impact, it's always a nonprofit. We can always do make an impact in every field of interest. Yeah. So
That's very sorry. No, I'm actually very kanang interested regarding the call center experience you had, which was 2 months. Kasi ako, di ba, my career is actually built in the BPO industry, in the shared services industry, and I found happiness siguro in terms of like talking, dealing with other people. So when I was in college, I really don't know what to do like after college. Although I had a chance to had an OJT in Cebu, atong sa
Rafi.
atong sa Rafi, and then it's really more on communication, recording videos, blah blah blah, creating presentations. But I really don't know like what's my job after college. But there was a time na my kuya, my first cousin sa Carmen, nato siya Manila kay na call center lagi siya. Then every time he would call my tita, I would like listen to their convo na marag successful siya, marag dagan siya napalit, marag that really ko encouraged me na gusto na ko after college dapat mag call center side ko, dapat ingat gyapon akong ma-achieve in life nga daghan ko mapalit ana. So that's the reason why when I was finishing my college at the last semester, Octoberian man ko, right, I only had 1 or 2 subjects left. Nag-work ko sa Ariba Telecontact sa Katkay ba. So yeah, so my shift there I think mga 9 or 8 p.m. to 6. Then I would go to sleep in the morning, and then I would go to school. Mga 1 p.m. to 5, I would study. Because nala ko'y career path dahil. Because akong ginatik ato nga time, that's my stepping stone. Kaya wala ko'y experience if I go to Cebu and apply. Murag it's rare. I think it's rare for me to get a chance na ma-hire ko. So So that's why I got the job for 6 months and then
Tuloy-tuloy na
applied in people support and kaya tuloy akong career. So I think in a way I found happiness man po in my career, chosen career
Ako,
path.
I'd like to go back to the transition topic from college to
Ang GOSAS.
from college to the real life, because when you're in college, you're so very kuan ba? Sa tawag ni?
Idealistic.
Idealistic.
And that's what happened to me also. Okay. I really love, I know what I want already. I want to be in a creative industry. I want to do videos, to create ka mga posters. Kaya mo gina akong absinan ko na akong physics dahil kaya maghimar ako poster
Yeah,
sa
I
DEFCON.
So mo to siya dahil ang reason da
Oo.
sa physics.
But the transition from the college life to the real world wasn't easy. Kaya abi man god, usually when mahuman ka sa college, just graduate na ko, yani na ako.
Yeah.
But
But then what's next?
It gets
Yeah.
hard. It gets hard kay looking for a job is just one thing. Pag ma-accept ka sa
It's
job is
another
another thing. And staying sa job is another thing. So what happened to me was I love what I'm doing, pero I don't get it na marag kabigay ko ka-confused na. Ingani di ang real world. Like, dugay kay na siya sa ako nga transition nga. Murag, dili pa na ako siya ma-accept nga. Kanang, dili ni mao nga real world ang ako ang gi-envision to be kay. Ganamit ang murag, na-question gali na ako akong self at nga time. Murag, dugay siya pila, siguro siya ka years nga. Is this really what I want? Nga murag, ganahan man ko mag-create og posters, ganahan man ko mag-create og videos, pero why I feel so kanabitang murag I'm tired
Happy
or
or
kanang yan na, I'm tired, or is it the environment, is it the job itself? So what I did was I emailed Ma'am Dang. If you remember Ma'am Dang, I emailed her kay grabe kay ko ka-confused na to nga murag dili ko ganahan mo work, gusto ko mag-stop, pero mo ingon akong parents na kanang so kanang yan na grabe siya ka-confused. It's the most confusing time para sa ako ang after college. Kana siya nga kanang
Na-confused ka kay
timeline. Na-confused ko
Na-confused
because
ka ish kay na-achieve din mo imong goal, na-achieve ni mo but for some reason di ka happy or you're tired or what.
mura bitog it's ingani pagid ang real world, ingani pagid per me. Murag what if dili na ko ganan ani unsay next? Pag ingana ba? Murag ingana ang ako ang
Pero what made you
ang ako
confused man with your chosen career? Sorry. What made you confused man? Is it because you're exhausted always? Or is it because you're of your boss? Is it because
Ganun
of your
sa
colleagues at
questions ni
work?
Saib.
Or-
It's everything. It's a mix. Because confused ko because I don't know if I'm happy with what I'm doing, or mao ba gid ni akong ganahan, kay mao man ni akong ganahan, and if dili di ko ganahan ani, unsa di akong ganahan? Ana ba? More bitaw siya kanang tanan sa imong college life, murag gina-prepare na ni imong self to be in this kind of world. Pero when you're in there, wala mo kag oh my god, dili di ni maho. Asa ko padulong, unsa di akong ganan. It was a very dugay gid kay siya nga kwan sa ako until gi-email na ko si Ma'am Dang, and what she told me was kanang dala-dala na ko up to now. Like ingon siya na ang pinakakuan gid nako sa yato is ingani man ang real world. Yan na siya. Depende, I cannot kanang kung ako asa imo nga part, if ang ihang number one kwan is self-preservation. If kana nang galing ang makuan sa iya, then if madrain na siya, or if maguba or makuan na gali ang iyang kwan with that kind of job, then you have to move on. But lahi-lahi maguna siya kay if naapog kay kanang kuan, you have bills to pay. Daghan kay siya factors. If you have bills to pay, if you kuan, then kung mohawa ka ana and dili ka maka-sustain sa imong kind of living, then I choose to stay. Pero ang iyag yung number one kuan is self-preservation. So after that, mga pila lang ka months, I left the work kay murag I have to retrace or rekuan unsa kung unsa ang ako ang gusto.
Realign your
Realign,
your goals.
Oh, yeah. I still like because I'm still doing the creative work right now. Pero I learned how to deal with clients. I learned how to deal with people. I learned how to deal with ko ana dili ko ma-drain. So marag dako siya nga factor kasi I still love I learned that I still love what I'm doing, but probably right now I have the freedom to choose na kanang dili ko ma-burnout, or kung ma-burnout ko it's or kung kanang medyo overtime ko sa work but I'm still happy with what I'm doing. So dako kay na siya nga factor for me.
Thanks, Ish.
I like what you mentioned. I like
Yeah.
what you mentioned, Ish, about sharing that. Thank you for sharing that story. It reminds me that uncertainties. We are confronted every day with uncertainties, and I have came to a point in my life where I have learned to surrender. I am a plan. I am a highly organized person.
I know, right? I so know. I remember ko in college days, like, naagit siya yung list, like, checklist. Jam ka ng...
To-do list
Imo nang
niya.
nabuhat. Kaya siya may leader. May si Cora before. Jam, imo nang nabuhat niya. Ako, oh my God, Cora, marag wala pa siya. Ay, okay lang. Basta kaya ako lang inote dire. Ako, okay.
Hello,
I know. Yeah. Go,
President siya.
yeah.
President siya
Right?
sa DevComSoc, so ako kay marag na vice president ko, I don't know.
I feel like sa atong upat, like, Cora is the most responsible
Yeah.
person and the most like
Yes.
kanang itong pinaka taas nga class if you have like a
Oh,
class, because kita I mean ako carefree bitaw kayo. Ako carefree kay ko, si Ish I'm sure, si Saip I'm sure carefree, but si Cora is like very highly organized. That's the correct term for it. I
kung,
support.
Like kung mag-group nimo siya sa ka project, like marag hour in
Wala kay problema, right?
May ako feeling sad. Hindi ko mag-problema, Day.
Wala ko'y problema, right? Wala ko'y problema. Okay, yay! Ano na yun? Sige ko, sorry pa tayo.
Paano man mo? Yeah, yes, Kato. So I consider myself a highly organized person, no? And so I plan. I cannot do my work without plan, because I believe that, kanang kasabihan nila that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
You plan to fail, yeah.
Yeah, but I came to a point in my life where I learned to surrender. Like, if you look things from a divine perspective, that changes everything. And to share a very specific story, when I came back from Myanmar in 2018, December 2018, I really don't have any plans to go back to Cotabato, no. But there was an opportunity to come back, and I render a service as a consultant to the office. But after that, so that was for 6-month stint. But after that, there was an opening, the head of the field office here, and I was encouraged to apply, and now I am holding the position. But a lot of pressure jam-ish, because the office has been nationalized. Ibig sabihin, the office has been entrusted to locals, to national staff. So this is the very first time that the offices of UNHCR in the Philippines will be managed by locals. And so just imagine our predecessors, all expats, running the office. And I know the background of the office. I know the people, but you have all these insecurities and vulnerabilities, and that really challenge your self-esteem. And I was so scared, so scared. Like never. I mean, I was scared when I went to Syria and Mongdu, but I did not feel that that fear at that moment. But just so much insecurities, really. And I was telling them, I mean, I don't want to disappoint people. So, katong mga good friends and good colleagues encouraged me to apply. I say, okay, fine, I'll apply. But really deep inside my heart, I don't want to, because I'm so happy in the farm. I'm building my business, and I'm a farm girl. I love nature. That's really my comfort zone. So the universe is calling me to get out of that comfort zone and offer again my talent and skills to the world. And it's like, alas, I'm done. So, but then I applied, and I know when that opportunity is really for you, it's really for you. So I got the job.
Right.
I'm now
Right.
manning the office right here, but at the first meeting, thank you. At the first meeting, I really pour out my heart to them. I say to the staff, I'm so vulnerable. I feel so vulnerable today because the same narrative. I say to them, I'm so scared. And so please, I need your help. You know that impostrum syndrome, if you've heard about
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that hits me that I think that was the climax at that very moment. So every day I would always say to them what are my reservations, and but then I realized that I keep on planning again, being organized and trying to overthink and rationalize things. But I came to a point I say, you know what? Just calm down and just trust the process. Everything has a reason. Everything has a reason. You are called to be there. You are where you are meant to be. So if you find yourself in a direction that you think you are lost, just I'm not saying that just be contented, but just recognize that you are lost, because by recognizing you will be able to as mentioned by Irish, being to regain or to realign what you want in life. And so I came to that point, and right now I think I'm I'm in a better disposition. I'm relaxed now, but I'm not complacent naman, not to that point na maging complacent ka, but I think there is an importance in trying to surrender to that process, because if you are going to overthink things, you will miss the moment. You know that saying that the present is a gift, you will miss that. And so, and I don't know, if we are getting older, we get mature and we get to learn a lot about life. And I think that's one of my lessons learned in life recently, that you just have to surrender and trust the process, and just accept that this is your mission at this point in time. The universe is asking if you are ready to take these opportunities.
Wow.
So
I feel
yeah.
like I want to be, I want to be part of your team. Like, I feel like
Send
I
the
want you to be
applications.
my boss.
Inspired.
I feel like I can learn a lot other than the work itself.
I miss talking to Cora, no?
Correct.
I miss talking to Cora kay, grabe ka, deep. Na, yeah,
It's deep. Like, I thought I'm deep, but no.
Di ka na matigulang na
I'm not
Di
deep.
matigulang na ka age may ani
Kaya
na
na
ka.
wisdom.
no,
True.
experience good. ang
With
like,
age comes
yeah.
wisdom, lugar
Yeah, like my
says.
question, Core, would be that you mentioned earlier na everybody has a purpose. You've been asking what's your purpose, but would it be possible that you have a lot of purposes in life? Like, it's not just one. I mean, you're not called to just do one thing, but several things. Is that even possible? Like, something happens and it shooks you, and then you ask again the question, how should we respond to that? Because I think the number one question after college would be, what's my purpose? But then I think we're so fixed with the purpose that we forget to, like, really really ask ourselves, where do we enjoy most. I mean, I think part of being, like, knowing exactly where you're supposed to be is that, what they say is that if you feel like you don't work another day, even if you're working, I mean, it doesn't feel tiresome, it doesn't feel like heavy.
Murag
You
video
know
ni
that
Irish.
you're in the right direction. But for you, do you feel like you only have one purpose in life?
I don't believe that we have one purpose in life, because the fact that we have various persona is a testimony that we have various purposes in life. I think the question would be, what purpose or mission are you going to take? Are you going to accomplish in this world? And again, it boils down to that self-assessment. It boils down to that introspection. No, that question, what you really want, is very important question that we have to really ponder on. How I wish I've been asked by that question in my younger years, because it's very difficult at this level. It's very difficult to assess eh. Kasi you have already experiences and you have, pains and hurt. You have been into those experiences where, you deal with difficult people. And tendency is when you assess what you want, you try to have that biases already. You want to set aside. You already have that kumbaga framing that I don't want this because you already have that experience. But perhaps when we are in younger years, it would be much easier. But I'd like to answer your question, Jam, by sharing this book, Flex. And this is about leadership. And in leadership, it is not, what do you call this, appropriate to apply only one type of leadership. So you get to be an alpha and you get to be a beta leader. So there are moments in your life where you have to be an alpha leader, meaning to say you have to be decisive. Yes is yes, no is no. But at some point in your life, in your leading moment, you have to be a beta leader. You have to be consultative in the process. You have to listen. You have to be compassionate, empathetic to your subordinates. So if you're saying, I think it is also similar to purpose. If you're saying that we only have one purpose, I think there will be imbalance in the world. And the same with leading. If you only be like a dictator type or authoritarian type of leader, I don't think it will be helpful. It will be there will be a balance in your organization. So I am an advocate of that, and I am more of a beta leader than an alpha leader. I am still in the process of honing that alpha side of me, but just to have that awareness that leadership should not be monotone or one type. Yeah.
That's really good to know.
When it comes to
go Saib, I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's good to know.
No. Yeah, because when it comes to leadership, you have to wear different hats depending on the situation. Ako more on consultative gapon ko, same with core, with my team before. And there are times that I would be authoritative if there are, processes that I need to implement, mga rules and regulations that I need to apply. So yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. Uy, wait. Anay question si Saip din sa young
list niya.
It's actually
the question. We have of course.
No, because I reviewed also pa yung mga questions.
May nag-text, charot.
May nag-text.
May scandal, may nag-text.
It's actually sort of connected sa passion. Okay, is passion and purpose the same thing? So that's a good question actually. Is passion and purpose the same thing?
So let's define passion and purpose first. Okay, perminti na ito ni kakadunggan nga.
Diba? I really want that answered by Cora.
Follow your passion.
Yeah. Like it has to be like burning passion. Hard, like,
So, what is it?
Lisod yun na siyang question. Well, based on my understanding experience, passion is that something that you have really, you enjoy doing, in simplest terms, you enjoy doing. But the purpose is just for me is really your mission in life. And to answer that question, is passion and purpose the same thing? For me, not necessarily. I mean, case in point, the one that I mentioned to you, I don't want to lead. I don't want to lead anymore. Like I think I became tired in people management. But you are called to do this mission. You are called to do this mission. And I think there are times that you are given a mission that you don't understand. And not to your liking. But you just have to trust that mission, because eventually that will lead you to understand what is your passion. So, and I mentioned to you, I mean, you know me in college, I am an organized person. But to tell you, it was only, I think in 2012 that I confirmed to myself that I like organizing. So,
wow, what a revelation.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. So if I was not
Oh my God.
If I was not affiliated to or LWR or UNHCR, I won't be able to
You will never know.
figure it out. Also, case in point, we are a development communicator. We write. I lay out during our college days, you know.
I know, right.
But who would have thought that I will be landing in an information management role? I consider myself now a data analyst, you know. So, and I am
Wow.
I'm so in love with data science, and I did not realize that
Wow.
that will become my passion.
Me too.
No, eventually.
That's
So
great to know.
that is for me an
I should
example.
invite you soon. I guess,
That is
for
an
that.
example.
Oh, invite si Cora.
Jam
Kaya siya
that-
ma-check ka.
Diba? Data management. Okay, go,
Data
Cora, go.
management. So
Sorry.
yes, I mean, I did not realize that I will eventually like that field because I know I would like to lay out lang, write like that, do videos. But and I remember when I was interviewed in this position, the my supervisor asked me that you are a DevCom graduate and how sure you'll be able to pull off this job. And I say they're just cousins. I mentioned because I was really frustrated to get the job. I say, you know what, they are just cousins, and so yeah, I was lucky to get the post, and that was the start of my information management journey. So to answer that, yeah, it's not necessarily that they are the same thing. I think you, sorry, just one last point that you know the reason why for me the reason why we find ourselves in that kumbaga, we are being puzzled no as to identify what the future holds is that the spiritual grace is just so great. You know, I find myself like just last week during the Lent season, I was so obsessed with drawing sketching my house plan, my dream house. But to the point that I'm not sleeping anymore, and it's I don't know, affecting my work because I'm so distracted, and I realized that I think that was the reason why the grace. I mean, I keep on while I'm sketching, I am contemplating, bana, just let me know what I want to what you want me to do. Like, do you want me to continue to UN, or do you want me to be an entrepreneur? Do you want me to be a farm girl lang gyud? Ingana. But then, and as I was so distracted with the sketch plan, I was so in love with it. Then I realized that I think that was the reason why we are not given the grace in one go, in one shot, because it's just too much. The power, if you consider that as a power
Wow.
to figure out the future, it's just too
Yeah.
much. You cannot handle it. You cannot. You will be distracted. And so it is a process. It is being unveiled to you step by step. Step by step. That's why into your question, purpose, passion, eventually you will find the passion. Just commit to your purpose now. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, ish. Wow. I mean, how you interpret things and how you take all the things that's happening to you in a spiritual way is just, it amazes me. I mean, I believe in, I believe that sometimes things, we don't plan things, but it happens to us, and because there's a purpose, there's a reason. And the only way you understand where you're going, what happened with your life, why you're here, is looking back. You get to
Connect the
trace
dots,
all
yeah.
those things. Yeah, you connect the dots. That's why. That's why. That's why. And then I understand and I appreciate that you you said this, brought it up nga, that the spiritual thing about asking the universe what, because sometimes we are so caught up. I'm caught up. This is what I want. This is 5 years from now. This is 10 years from now. But then we forget to ask nga, there are only certain things that we can control, and then there are some things that we cannot. And so it's so refreshing to hear that from you. Na some things we cannot. We just have to surrender. And you're right. You're right about that stuff. And
We just
and
have to
I
let
agree.
it go. Yeah.
Go.
Well, I always believe in the mantra na everything happens for a reason. Because there were instances in my life wherein I've learned to let go and I've learned to really trust the process.
No?
Then eventually it will redirect me to something better. Parang, very interesting siya nga.
Yes.
Okay. So I may not be able to get this position right now, but I was being redirected to something
Correct.
better. So yan na siya.
Correct.
Same with I would like to relate it also sa ako ang my only plan is 5 years lang ko dito and I'll come back, but 5 years nahimo siyang 9 years or 10 years and
Oh my gosh.
Really,
yeah,
Dad?
9 years and 10 years
Dugay
because
good.
dugay siya kay kanang dili gid mahitabo sa imo unsa imong i-plan, dili gid na sa strictly murag kuan na lang siguro no kanang blessing na lang siguro kung ma-follow gid nimo siya.
Correct.
Pero
Yeah.
along the way wala ko'y regrets even if my experience in there is kanang dili gid ana ka tsada tanan, but I have no regrets with everything because I learned a lot from it, and from it daghan ko og na apply sa ako karon na murag na open akong world but with different perspectives.
Correct.
Also parehaan ng katong with the pandemic ay kanang wala man giplan gihapon na muuli ko dire, but because of pandemic I was forced to come back here, but life has been better nga na ako dire compared when I was there. So more siya in a way blessing in disguise. Nga na mura siya tagaan ka ani nga kinds of experiences for you to learn.
Correct.
And then basta murag wala lang. Life is mysterious. Life is
Correct.
ingana siya pero
It is, but it's fun.
fun.
I mean, it's fun to like
yes. That's what
uncover
makes it interesting, yeah?
every
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Wala na
It's-
thrill.
it's so
Yeah.
Kung
Like
na-unveil
real,
na tanan.
Kung kabalo na ka unsa imong future,
So,
you'd
guys,
like to skip. Wala na kayo
Yeah.
ma-learn because skip naman ka. Wala na, skip option. Wala na.
But but I feel like sometimes when you make decisions, you mentioned about making decisions for kanina na it's different now because we have more responsibility. But sometimes you kind of right now, we're so serious about. I get so serious about making decisions, and if I have mistakes, like I'm so hard on myself. So it's like this time I'm like, ang uban gani tao, like they have kanang much bigger of a problem than than me, or in a much worse condition. And sometimes what makes me through a day is just laughing out my mistakes or my bad decisions, because I think that's life. Like I think it could be really really heavy and really really very kanang hard if you make it so. So I feel like in this life and in this journey, I think na it's good to have like an open mind and open heart and kana betong like positive mindset, but at the same time it's just take things lightly. I've learned that because I'm a very
You were so serious
kanang-
back then.
I'm so serious.
Even up to now.
This is no. This is just
Just serious
I
guy.
know, right?
core. Tabangin ko kay sige ko nilang ibuli.
Serious na
Serious ko no ko.
carefree.
Which is so weird because I don't
Which is
feel like
true.
but my face is so serious.
Probably because reflective.
I don't even know why.
Reflective lang kayo si Jam. Like everything that happens to her life kay murag she reflects
Everything. It's so freaking. I don't know if that's a good thing, Core. Can you tell me if it's a good thing or not?
No, it's a good thing,
Bitaw,
man. Kay you're gakuan ka ba? Reflect ka on what's happening in you. So
Yeah, I think she's observant.
it's Na-question pag si Sai.
So guys, yeah. So
No, I
guys,
think this is good.
So I think it's safe to say, So I think it's safe to say na we were able to find our chosen field, right? I mean, we've been working with this chosen field for how many years? So I think in a
Oh
way
my
we're
God, 8
happy
years
because
ko.
we were able to stay. Yeah, we were able to stay that far, right? So if ever you're going to change career, would you? And if yes, what would you switch it for?
Who goes first?
Someone gusto mo answer una.
Siguro.
Ako, kuan, I am a frustrated
Ikaw, Cor.
engineer.
Wow.
I am a
Or
frustrated
magiging DevCom, gid yung time mo.
I am a frustrated engineer, but the very reason why I took up DevCom is because of my scholarship. Because I'm confident that if I'll take that course, I'll be able to maintain it. So I'm not really good in math, but I like to be an engineer. So I said no. I don't
What
want to
kind
be a
of engineer,
burden to my
Cor?
family. Huh?
Wow.
Diba klaseng engineer?
Very
Ano sa
selfless.
Civil engineer. So, so
Civil.
yun. And but if you ask me if I'm going to change my career now, no, I don't think I'll change my career. I'm proud to be a development communicator, and I find my footing here, and I think this will be my contribution to the world. Yeah.
Very,
Siya.
world. No,
Opposites?
is it pragmatic? What's the word when you think worldly? When you think of
Okay.
ay, yeah.
Ikaw siya, mansaman.
Very ko na ang imuhang kind of
Imo
job.
panlantaw, Cor, but it's like purpose is like the world is like
Very
not just
UN.
yourself, because
Very UN.
sometimes we can get so fixed on ourselves, like I want this, I want to do this, I want to work because I want to have all these things, I want to have a car. It's more on things, right? And it's more on like your status, but for Cora it's like your contribution to the world, your purpose to the world, what you can give. So it's very, it's
But
not
you can give
worldly,
back to
I
the
think.
world. Yeah.
Yeah,
But don't
something
get-
like that.
don't get me-
Spiritually, charot.
Don't get me wrong.
You also
eh.
like things, Cor, diba?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, my aim in life is to be rich. I am an ambitious person.
And that's everybody's aim.
I
or
am.
dream.
So, but it's just I'm
Wow.
not materialistic. So there is a difference there. You want to be wealthy, but you are not materialistic. I want to be wealthy.
Like how you just want money. You just want money.
I want to accumulate wealth to help others. So that is my my
Angelina
ambition.
Very Angelina Jolie. Like,
Very
you know what? I
Very
wish I could be like that. I
charitable.
wish I could think like that kind of big.
Yeah, because-
just, my thinking is like so simple, ba?
I wanted to say
What a
that
topic.
Cora embodies the Xavier kuan ba motto na being a man and woman for others.
Yes.
Okay,
Wala
di
siya.
hada nga topic, no? Yes, I remember, yes, I mentioned, don't get me wrong, my ambition every day, my prayer is, make me an instrument of your peace, love, and abundance. So, I'd like to gain wealth. I want to be rich because I like to help people, and I don't know where that desire comes from, no? But
It's from
that has
Rhodium.
been there
where?
since bata pa jud ko. And I remember in one of the, and I was given a chance to give a speech in a commencement exercise high school.
Wow.
And dugay
You
na
know
to.
what? No. Can I just pause you there, Cor? I think kanang itong the ultimate a moment where I think kanang naka-reach yung kasi mo level is that you
Wala
give
pa,
the
uy.
speech
Don't
in
worry.
commencement.
Wala
Feeling
talaga
ko kay
sila, Steve
you are
Jobs,
already
sila.
diba?
Wala light choice ang
You've
school
achieved
adtong
a lot in
panahon.
life.
Akong speech kay tama na sa GA.
Wala good. I mean, sige, Cor, go ahead.
Then I nag-question lagi like why do I land in that job, because they say, yeah, you are valedictorian, you should be accountant and a lawyer and doctor and whatever. So I mentioned to them that this job is no longer a job for me. It is a vocation. So I told them that I like it here because it's like hitting two birds with one stone. I am very much well compensated, and at the same time I am helping others. So it's two-way, no? So I think that is the beauty of my work, and that's why I'm so in love with it. And so it's what, I don't know if we call it the humanitarian side of me, but I think it's
Yeah, I think so.
it's part of my calling, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to ask me,
Yeah.
ambot og ako lang ba ni, but may kanang akong ganahan buhaton changes every time. But I always
Nga career.
I always come back to the creative side. Pero I always wanted to do things other than this. So that's why from from time to time na ko yung mga ga-volunteer ko to this, ga-volunteer ko ana, ga-volunteer ko ingani. But right now, as of this moment,
Pero Ish,
as of this moment, murag ang dili ga katangtang sa ako is I wanted to have a farm. I wanted to have a farm. I wanted to
mag-farm
to know-
girl podcast.
Yeah, I wanted to know the kanang agricultural side because daghan kog na-realize as I grow older or why older maglain as I kanang nag-age
Grow
ta
old.
ba?
Pero realidad, di ba?
Yeah.
Sorry.
As I grow older, murag na-realize na ko nga if wala ko nag-take og DevCom, I should have kanang study agriculture because first we are a very kanang agricultural country may gadang Philippines, you know. Marag na-realize na ko nga what daghan kayo dapat buhaton sa agricultural side nga kana betong dato kay ang Philippines na pero ngano ang farmers nato is pobre. Ano ba? Marami tawag ka daghan kayo siya kung dili lang ka maghuna-una sa business side, daghan kayo pwede mabuhat sa ato ang land na basta
Muna siya.
na in love ko sa agriculture.
Muna siya,
What?
Muna siya ang
Ganun
reason
pa,
Ish. Manang reason why ang DevCom under sa agriculture.
Yeah,
Diba,
yeah.
the way what explain to us is for us to help.
To be honest,
Is for us to help farmers
to be honest,
na marginalized.
before.
For us to be the bridge.
Na-question ko na ako before nga nang naman sa agriculture ang DevCom pero right now murag nakuha na ko siya nga yes dapat na ang DevCom sa agriculture kay
Matong
dako kay
role,
tabang-
yes.
dako kay agtabang ang DevCom sa agriculture and wala lang karon kay gapangita ko
Yes.
kanang gapangita ko kanang mga trainings mga kuan about farming about ani about kay murag I think murag mahimo na ko siyang retirement plan, you know, kay murag after all of this, I don't want to be editing forever. I want to live in a farm. Na murag mag-enjoy ko sa mga nature, like what Cora said. I want to retire and kana patong dili labat man ang ulo ang farming gihapon kay it's not easy too, pero you get to interact with nature. You get to kanang kung
Farm
sa gani.
Ish.
Kung magutom ko, besh, makuha ako sa kong farm. Kuha ako kamote dire. Kuha ako.
Pero like siya man siya nga farm dai. Murag Baya Alonso nga farm. Murag Baya Alonso nga farm man daw sas.
Ha? Be Alonzo o social
Alonso nga
magaling
farm,
ka na
Be
kung
Alonso nga farm.
May Alonso
So,
nga
siya.
farm na ay chapel, besh.
Then mag-wine-wine din ka.
Lagamayo farm.
Mag-wine-wine din ka.
Welcome ka, Ish,
Oh
sa
my God,
balay.
Lagi, I actually wanted to visit yun.
Cor, wala
Lagi
pa ko
ako
ba sa
wine-wine
inyo?
yan.
Guys, ato ta jam and sip.
I've been there
Quantum
na bayot
Cagayan.
when I was in college during our economics class. Di ba, Cor? We've
Oh,
been
yes,
there naman
nakatulong din
with
siya sa
Katrina's
underground.
kuya.
Sip, wala na nga.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Wala
like
na sa mga-
underground.
Oh ba? Gamoys na itog na kay bayot among habol gamoys sa kabasa ko. Sa mani uy. Basta underground na siya dai. Tugnaw gapon.
Pero how about you, Sip? Kanang, wala mi kabaloon sa imong kuan kay marag mostly na magi
Ako,
ka
sige.
sa marag nanagi ka sa calls.
Yeah,
call center.
like what's your plan?
Other than
Yeah.
call
Sa
center
comms.
or mga VA, mga ingana nga job. What else ka nang imong ganahan?
Thank you so much, Ish. actually, growing up, I wanted to be a chemist because I was like very fascinated with Dexter's laboratory.
Level.
Tikon na rin mo ang chemistry bench. Tina ako ang chemistry bench.
Take one sa bayot.
Hala, no.
Pasar man ko dahil sa chem.
Go.
Mga pasabog.
So, gana ko ma-chemist just because I always watch Dexter's Laboratory at namalingaw ko sa iyaha, mag-create siya mga formulas and whatnot. I also enjoy kanang mga activities sa chemistry nato, but for some reason when I check the syllabus anang BS chemistry, taghan kayo math says. So bayot I
Si
cannot
math gyud.
kay marag babagsak gyud ko. Dili ko ka-push through anang chemistry kadin kay math. So mo to siya hadlang sa kong kuan, dream mong
Pero
chemist.
what about now? Like the right now ba? Like sige, you don't want to be like in a call center forever. You don't want to be kanang mag nganira ko online forever. So what's your kanang
I
Yeah.
thank you. Actually, ganahan ko may mong kuan, focus more on animals. Kung farm ka ish.
Pwede na yun
More
eh.
animals
Maghimog
ko.
rancho.
Ganahan ko.
Kung crop science ka sa animal science,
Oo, di ba
ko.
kaya? Wow! Garang uy, pero okay ba yan na siya? Naman mo yung land,
No,
di ba?
I love like for dogs. I mean, I can always like
Have a pet shop.
magbuhay ko mga dogs, pet shop. I can do that. And then aside from that, I also realized na there is money sa akin ng mga farm animals. Like for example, mga kanding, mga baka. Every time ka magchika ko, mami nga, ha? Nabalik ang baka 100,000? Uy, kamahal ka ng baka. Like 50,000, 100,000, mahal kay bayot. Oh, agway. Like, siya ini mga baka. May pera sa baka. Charot. Nagatingala ko, kamahal ko aning baka. Mahal daw. Ina naman 50K. Kung saan ka baka, mahal ka. So, marang siya. I think I have a heart for animals.
Nice.
If I want to change career, I wanted to be focused more on raising not just farm
Sige,
animals, but
livelihood.
mga domestic animals as well.
Stuck
Livelihood.
na.
And,
Right. Okay. Now,
Ikaw,
pwede
Jam.
na
Yeah, kay Jam nasad
ako. Ayaw ako. Panay ko, magkwestiyon ako. It's so funny because, diba, I mentioned kanina nga, I just wanted to be able to write. My first job was call center also. And, unsa good ka nang, I realized nga, no, this is not for me. Kaya bitaw mag-overnight, bitaw ka, kada di ka matulog. Why am I doing this to myself? Daghang ko questions, no, I'm gonna stop. And then,
bilar
like,
ka,
o bilar ko, unsa ni uy si purpose aning gabilar gyud ko. Ano pa kamatkin man ako ni tanan-tanan.
Tapos naging niya wa
Wala akong questions sa
resignation
myself.
letter.
I mean, it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it. So, moto nga nag ano ko, I was just so lucky with being in PIA because I don't think any of us knew PIA then in college. Like, I did not even know.
Yeah, I didn't know
si
that.
Maymay man siguro na yun nga, hiring dito PIA na kung saan na siya. Uy, yun. Naghatag ako application. But it was not easy. It took me like 4 years to actually get in. Kaya daghan mga processes ba nga.
Kadugay.
Wala na dayon, na-stop na po, then again na po. So, it wasn't easy. So I had other jobs other than PIA, but then it's so funny because I felt like this. Katong nagtake kong example, like, oh my God, I'm meant for this organization. I'm meant for this office, and then only to find out nga dili ako ang gi-hire sa first take. Or was it second exam? So I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna apply anymore. Di na gyud ko aning PIA, di na gyud ko. Pero after 2 years, another opportunity, gi-message na pod ko nga, hiring na pod sila na ko nga, oh my God. Last na lang gid ni Lord, di na yung ko, kung di na gid ko makuha ni, di na gid ko. Hantod ang last nakuha na gid ko, besh. So I'm like, is this real? Gigipa ko na kong mga requirements and everything. So, so dito na, nagsulat ko. But then, my mind was only nga, magsulat lagi ko, this is gonna be just my writing thing. And then, it's just so amazing for me nga it expanded into something bigger than I thought it was. As you mentioned, Cor, I'm hosting. I'm becoming this moderator.
Super.
And I'm
Talakayan.
not only that, talakayan, I think that's a big thing. Pero
It is.
not only
It is,
that, yeah.
Like,
Pinaka-ratio.
the first reaction gud nga, oh my God, Jam,
Si
host
Jam,
na
yes.
siya.
Yeah.
nga.
You're
Wala
living
mo
my
talaga.
dream.
Ako sad.
Jam.
Oh my God. I mean, it wasn't, it was just, me, I was so shy back then, even in college. I think I'm more of the silent people, the serious and silent type. But then it took like my director to really, it took someone to believe in me, that I believed in myself. And that it grew from there. And then I kind of realized na, as you go along with your life, you have to really believe in yourself first.
Super.
Because those people will not
Yes.
be there for you forever.
Correct.
And you have to build a strong
Agree.
bone.
Correct.
And I don't have a strong bone to begin with. And so I'm always I'm always relying on people to believe in me, to have faith in me, or to even like me, to even like myself. And that's how hard it was. So from that moment on nga, nagsigin ako. And then I kind of realized nga, wait, I think God is not telling me to kanilang imo mabuhat. There are so many things. Like right now, it's not just talakayan. I'm actually producing the talakayan
Wow.
itself.
Oh
Like,
my
I'm
God.
connecting. I'm
Congrats.
networking. I'm creating activities for the office. I mean, it's amazing. And the purpose really is to communicate. Government, sako po nga side government. Government programs and projects, and whether or not they're gonna be likes or whatever followers, but the point is the information is given out there. And government is an organization where it's so challenging because nobody likes the government so much.
No.
I mean, it's okay kung private ka. It's so easy to market, but government is not easy to
Yeah,
market.
true.
It's not. It's freaking hard. So it's like, how do I position this? Nga, it's interacting and it's somehow interesting. Like, honestly speaking, ang mga government agencies ang kanang mag-guess ako unsay imong question daan. Like, they need to know my questions first because they know it's gonna be hard. Like, I told myself before nga, I have to ask the tough questions. I mean, these are the people that we need to ask the tough questions with. I mean, this is not something isuti lang nimo mong programa. There are issues and you need to answer the issues. So, it's like, nahimon na siyang inana. I think it has become a bigger, like, what you've mentioned ngayon, Cor, and what I've realized nga, God has a bigger plan for each and every one of us, and we just let things happen as they happen. So I think that's how. And
Pero,
for me,
Jam.
if I change jobs,
What would it be?
I've been thinking. Yeah, I've thought about it. Nga, is it really possible? Is it really possible at my age?
It is
Nga,
possible.
Ang ato bitong
Beauty queen ka,
job, like,
day.
it's not like the usual like nursing, accounting. Dali na bitaw kung mag-search ka. But when you're in communication,
It's
it's
so-
so
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
I mean,
true.
it's hard
True,
to
true.
find a job that's like communication.
It's so broad.
It's so broad and it's so
Diverse.
specialized. Nga. Nobody wants to like, unsa na, yung timong buhaton. So, I even asked my sister sa UK nga, unsa akong job nga pwede dito sa UK? Like, if I'm thinking if I want to go there.
Comms.
Unsa akong job? I-check lang, i-search lang. Naku nga, it's hard. So, I'm thinking about it because I don't want to kanang limit myself at the same time if there are other opportunities. But I'm trying to like expand, like think outside the box.
It is
As of
hard kay mao gyapon akong gakakuha sa other students or kanang mga graduates gihapon of communication,
DevCom?
not just DevCom, pero other communication students gihapon sa other schools na I get the same kanang comments ba na they don't know what they will do after, or they don't know unsa nga kind of job ang
Right.
ilang kuan. It is kind of challenging, but sa ako nga part kay ganahan ko how diverse we are because we can fit
Correct.
to different kinds of industries.
Yeah.
Nga,
Yeah,
every
that's true as well.
company or every kind of company in a different kanang industries, they all need communication department yun. Naagi communication department, and that's where ganahan ko nga DevCom ko because of it na kanang we were trained to be
Faceted. Multifaceted.
or
Multifaceted. Charot.
Pwede mabuhat ba? Let's just
Multi-skilled. Ano na lang.
Multi-skilled. Okay, go. Ayan na. So, wala.
Di ka faceted ay.
Before when asked kung mag-graduate ka, unsa ni trabaho sa DevCom, and I don't know how to answer them, but I'm so
Bitaw.
proud right now. I'm so proud right now nga DevCom ko because kanang dili lang ani ang pwede mabuhat sa DevCom. There's so many
Yeah.
things and wala.
That's why sa kadaghan pwede mabuhat. That's why sometimes
Yeah.
it's confusing.
Yeah,
Like, we
it's
don't know what we
confusing.
want, right? After graduating, like, we can be a scriptwriter, a director,
yeah.
producer, graphic artist, layout artist, diba? Daghan
Daghan
kayo.
kayo siya.
I think for me, my takeaway is that we need to be open to any uncertainties, to any challenges that we might encounter, because it's going to prepare us for something better. It's going to make us stronger siguro. Or maybe it's going to redirect us to where we are supposed to be. So, yes, that's my takeaway.
Yeah.
This is Saip Charot.
reality versus expectation. Your expectation may not meet your reality, but I think you have to make lemonade out of lemons. Life is the present, and this is the best thing we could ever be. Our present moment. There's no because the past is already history and the future is uncertain. So I think the present is the most important part of everything. So I think overthinking and like if you're a college graduate or if you're still in college and if you're like overthinking things, although it's nice to think, but at the same time, I think you have to feel it. You have to feel it inside you, so that you will be aligned in whichever path. You have to have that heart, and you have to you have to sense. You
That
have to
passion.
enjoy. It has to be from the heart. Whatever you do, it has to be from the heart. That's for me.
Okay, my take on expectations versus reality sa life after college is it gets better each day. It gets better each day. Like what we said earlier, it's not easy transitioning to the school life and the real life. But it is kung unsa ka karon, that's your best day. The best day is today. So kung magsige lang taog koan sa before, sige lang tagkuan nga ingani to kung gibuhat sa una ba, ingani atong gibuhat na ingana. So dili kita maka-move on sa kung asa ta kay murag daghan po baya ako lang pod kuan is daghan pod baya wala naka-graduate pero ni-skip sila anang apart. Nag-career sila after kana marag ingani kay because of kanang economic tawag ani economic reasons. So murag ang ako lang kay sige na nakalimot ni ko nga dili lang pud ay mga college ang atong kuan ani kay napud uban mga audience na wala ba ka graduate kay ingana but ni skip sila sa ingani nga part. So murag ang ako lang makuan is your best day is today. What you will do sa imong life after mag-start siya now. So mawala na akong take. Thank you. Go
Ako mo add ko sa inyong mga takeaways, no, backward and then forward. Remember that you have your past. And past is an important part of your life, you know. So remember that your past would serve as your foundation. Whether that past has a negative or a painful one, it still has a part in your life, and we just have to learn from it and move on. No, so we can enjoy the present if we apply the lessons that we learned from the past. As you mentioned, the present is a gift. So appreciate it now. Appreciate what you have. Be in the moment. No, as mentioned by Jam, when life gives you lemon, no, make lemonade. So just make the best out of the difficult situation. And last piece of future, while it is uncertain, there are a lot of unknown. No, unknown. We just have to plan. Because I mentioned I will go, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So, and also when you plan, you tend to be lesser anxious of what lies ahead of you because you already have that plan. But you have to be very open as well to the possible circumstances of your plan and the decisions that you're going to make based on that plan. So I think those are the key takeaways that I'd like to share to the audience of T43. And again, thank you for inviting me to this podcast.
Thank you, Cor. Kami ang dapat po.
Thank you so much, Cor, for your time and for your insights.
I feel like you just said everything in a nice way, and
not only
correct.
Not only the audience or ang audience ang nag-serve po daw kanang kuan ani no kay kita po daghan tag lessons na kuha kay Cora.
Yeah, Cor is like
salamat.
Yes,
Napupoy na tunahan sa inyo have course.
I thought what you said earlier was already good, but then your closing state was like, Okay. This is
Mo ni siyang
also very good. I think better. I don't know.
and I'd like to
So
point
that's
out
it,
pag na nice.
guys.
Ala, grabe kayo siya. Kadjit lang. Gusto nila mo uli, ay muhawa. Pagkadjit lang kay, ang ako lang ganun i-point out pag kay, it's good to have like guests nga, mga college na to nga classmates sa una because dako kayo ang kanang marag, dako kayo ang changes ba, nga for the better of course, changes kay, when we talk about, nag-talk ta kay Leslie, when I talk about like financial, marag kita pod na kurat pod ta ba nga, wow, ingani naman di ay pod ang perspective ni Leslie karon.
Si Leslie.
Diba? Then marag with Cora,
Yeah.
parang wala, tsada lang kayo siya nga, ano ba? Tsada kayo siya nga.
Right. The before and the after.
Wow, I'm so proud,
Yeah,
I'm so proud
I think-
of us.
Yes.
I think it's also one way for
Cheers
us
to
to
Ma'am
reconnect.
Trell. Ma'am Trell,
Cheers to
yun,
Ma'am
no?
Trell.
Yes. Kan lagi after
Cheers.
elections I'll be in Cagayan.
Sige,
So,
guys.
Kita-kits na.
Oh, kita
Mag-chat ra ta, day. Chat.
Sige.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Cora. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That ends
Thanks,
Tea for 3.
Carva.
Bye.
See ya.